السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا بكم مرة تانية. دي تاني مرة أقول السلام عليكم، بس عشان احنا بنبدأ رسمي بقى. أهلا بكم في أول محاضرة لينا. احنا لسه بنقول بسم الله. مش هنطلع اللايف يا مروة، تقريبا احنا قاعدين كده. آه، احنا بنقول بسم الله. أول محاضرة رسمي معاكم كانت الدكتورة هبة، الله يبارك لها، عملت لنا محاضرة على how to use Google Classroom. ف ف بس النهارده بدايه الكورسات الفعليه، يعني كانت دي طبعا هي تفضلت علينا وعملت لنا المحاضره، ربنا يبارك لكم، على اساس نعرف ازاي نستخدم البلاتفورم واحنا بنشتغل. فاحنا وين اكاديمي، فريق من مجموعه مدرسين، مجموعه اخوات يعني. بس مجموعه اخوات بحضراتكم، مش احنا لوحدنا يعني. لان انا لو بقدم السيرفيس ومفيش حد حاضر لي، انا اذا بعملها لنفسي. فان شاء الله يعني يكون الموضوع مجزي جدا ليكم. احنا مش طالبين منكم اي حاجه خالص غير ان انتوا تدعوا لنا ان احنا دايما تبقى علاقه الود والحب بيننا وبينكم، ودايما ان شاء الله كده نسعى في الخير، مش اكتر من اي حاجه تانية. عاملين برنامج النهارده وبكره وبعده وبعده 4 ايام ورا بعض لمده 4 اسابيع للتيتشرز. هنتناول فيه 4 موضوعات مختلفه، والخامس في السكه اللي هو الايلتس ان شاء الله، عشان الناس لو سالت عليه يعني. الأكاديمية بترحب بيكم جدا وبتقول لكم أنتم منورين، وإن شاء الله نشوفكم في كل مناسبة حلوة. النهارده البريزنتر بتاعتنا مسز بسمة، وهي مستضيفة طبعا أستاذة رانيا. مسز رانيا هي اللي هتشرح لنا النهارده، فسيبكم معاهم. أنا كده خلصت دوري في المسرحية، شكرا جدا جدا. هشوفكم في آخر واحنا بننزل التتر بتاع النهاية. طبعا السيشن از ان انجلش، و it's at 7:30 Mr. Nizar every day, but for different purposes, because we're not going to do the same thing every day. ف مسز بسمة هتتفضل تعرفنا بس مين مسز رانيا، وبعد كده بقى ان شاء الله يكون اليوم بتاعكم ماشي سهل وسلس. عندنا فقرة في آخر السيشن هي Q&A، اللي هي فقرة الكويستشنز. فأستأذنك بالنوت بوك بتاعك اكتب السؤال بتاعك، طالما هو بتسأل ان جنرال على حاجة مش في الوقت بتاعه. لو بتسأل في نفس الوقت بتاع الحاجة اسأل عادي في الشات، وفي احنا هنرد عليك، وطبعا استاذة رانيا هترد. لكن لو بتسأل على حاجة بقى ريليتد للموضوع، ما استأذنك نأخرها لآخر 10 دقائق. شكرا جدا، وشكرا ان انتم استحملتوني، واسيبكم لمسز بسمة ومسز رانيا، وبالتوفيق للجميع. السلام عليكم.
Okay, welcome everybody in our Reading Gateway course. Today we have Mrs. Rania Hafiz as your trainer. She has bachelor's degree in English, very good with honors, faculty of Al-Sun Ain Shams University. She studied pre-master in linguistics and psycholinguistics. She also has experience as research and development advisor in the field of online education. Moreover, she has years of experience in banking, translation, and customer journey. Received different courses, including online teaching diploma. Rania loves everything that has to do with reading. So she founded Reading a Reader Middle East initiative on FB with her friend and have a monthly podcast, محفظة الكتب, to ignite reading passion among youth and share the love of books. This is Mrs. Rania. Go on, Mrs. Rania.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome everyone, and I'm so excited today. We're excited to have you all. ويعني بسمة, thank you very much. قلتي حاجات كتيرة, بس أنا يعني from all that you said, the most important thing is that I love reading. يعني and my hope يعني one day and يعني all the children and students would love reading because it would make our life much easier in every field, by the way, not just reading. I'm glad to have you all. And would you please tell me in the chat box quickly, are you all English teachers? And if you're English teachers, please tell me which grades do you teach? Still waiting. Primary, okay. Nancy, Miss Nancy, thank you. Miss Asma, English teacher, okay. Maisa. We have Miss Wala, your science teacher, great. Okay, Miss Omnea, primary. Okay, good. French teacher, okay. I don't speak French, but fine. Okay, prep 1 and 2, math teacher, English teacher, kindergarten. Okay, so I see most of us are English teachers, but we have other teachers here with us, which is very good, because actually reading applies for all subjects. We're not just talking, but actually the lecture would be in English. So it would be helpful for all of us. And hopefully maybe some other time we could make other lectures in other languages. Okay, so let's start together. Now I'll share my screen. Okay, you all see my screen? Okay, like we said, we're talking about reading. Okay, so can you please tell me in the chat box, are you readers? And please be frank, are you readers? I know you're all teachers, but are you readers? Yes, I'm an engineer. Okay, Mr. Nizar. Okay, so I'm sure you must be definitely a reader. Okay, no. I'm glad. I'm really happy for those who are frank enough to say that you're not readers. Not that much, not all the time. Okay. Well, I myself, most of my friends actually don't like reading, and they find it very hard to read even one page or focus on one page to read. Probably just go through the social media and so on. Okay, so I hope that when we have this course together, you will end up loving reading and you will see it in a different way, and you will help your students to love reading, which would make it much easier for you. Okay, so let me start by asking you this question. Is reading a natural process? Can you please type in the chat box? Is reading a natural process? What do you think? And I mean by natural process, does it happen just naturally? Okay, I don't see anyone answering yet. No, it's not. Ms. Badreya, Ms. Riham, no. Ms. Mushira says, yes, it should be. No. Okay. Well, reading, as most of you said, it's not a natural process, okay? And it's very important to understand this when we're teaching reading to our students. We have to know that reading is not a natural process, okay? Speaking is natural, like we all know. We have our young children, for the ladies who have children, you know that your little ones or your students, they learn to speak when they listen and when you talk to them. So speaking comes natural, but reading and writing are not natural. And it's very important to know this. Why? Because knowing this information would help us understand that we have to work with our students. We have to work with our little children to help them develop reading and writing, okay? As you see, our human brains are wired to speak. So if anyone, little children, you just talk to them, they will learn to speak, and bit by bit, they will form a lot of vocab. Okay, but they're not naturally wired to read and write. That's why we need to teach them. They have to learn, they have to develop those skills. And by the age of 5 or 6, they learn, but they need actually several years to master the skill. And I think some of us, even they grow up and they don't even know how they can read or how they can enjoy reading, okay? Okay, now it's very important also to realize two things about reading. That reading is a language-based activity, okay? Let's just focus on this. It's a language and it is an activity, okay? And what do you mean when we say it's a language? Can you tell me what does it mean when we say the reading is a language? What does it involve if it's a language? Please let me see your answers in chat box. Okay. I'm still waiting. Okay, what do we mean? Language, what is language? Yes, Miss Maisa, 4 skills. Yes, it requires skills. Very good. Yes, very good. So we have to know that when language, it requires skills, and since we have English teachers here with us, and even we have science teacher or Arabic teacher, we're talking about grammar, we're talking about listening, we're talking about speaking, because this is a language, okay? It's a means of communication. Okay, and we also, as you say, it's an activity, okay? So an activity, what do we mean when you say that's activity? It needs practice. We have to work on it. It needs development, okay? So is language only just a language-based activity? Can you just guess what else is reading? Sorry, can you guess what else is reading? It's just a language-based activity? Does it require anything else? Yes, it's a way to communicate. Yes, very good. Yes, Ms. Haba, language skills, grammar to understand well. Yes, it's the backbone of the language, Mr. Nizar. Yes, exactly. Okay, so it's not just a language-based activity, it's also a thinking process, okay? What do we mean when we say it's a thinking process? Can you tell me? We said it is a language, okay? We said it's activity, it's a thinking, and it is a process, okay? Yes, very good. Needs vocab, understanding. Ms. Dalia, thank you very much. Literature, Ms. Mai, yes. We need skills, okay? You give instructions, so we have to think. Our minds have to be working while we're reading, okay? And that's why, yes, we use our mind. Yes, very good. Okay, so that's why when we read or when we are teaching our students to read, we know that reading is divided into 3 stages, okay? We have pre-reading, we have during reading, and we have after reading. Okay, can you tell me what is the aim when you're there, you're trying to teach your students to read, or you're giving them an answers on a passage, or you're teaching them literature, or even as we have here, science or math teachers or Arabic or French, when you're asking them to read a text in front of them, what is your main target? What are you actually aiming at? What do you want? Can you just tell me your ideas? See, Mr. Eid, criticism, get new ideas. When you're reading for students, we have to change our voice. Ms. Maha, thank you. Scan and skim, Ms. Mai. Gasp information, yes, very good, Ms. Intisar, yes. To be more educated and open-minded, to look at information. Ms. Nancy, message, okay. So most of what you said is what I mean. When we're talking about pre-reading, during reading, and after reading, we're talking about actually comprehension. That's actually the main aim of all of us as teachers, or even as parents, okay? We want our students, we want our little ones, even if we're reading them stories, even if you're teaching them any kind of text, what is your main aim? You want them to comprehend what they read, right? If you do not comprehend, then it's actually useless. And it would be totally useless. So our aim is to have them comprehend what they read, okay, right? Isn't that what we're all after? To comprehend, okay? Okay, so let's just have this practice together. Can every one of you try to read the text in front of you? And the first one, or whoever's done, just type in the chat box, done. So what are you going to read now? You're going to read the text in front of you. And if you successfully read it, just type done in the chat box, okay? There we go. And I'll be watching the chat box to see. Come on, I want everyone to share. And tell me if you find it hard or difficult or what, okay? Just go on and read. Okay, so. Has anyone finished? Not yet. Okay, difficult? Done, Mr. Nizar, thank you very much. Mr. Nizar, you're the engineer, right? Okay, so probably you just simply decoded it. Very good, okay. Ms. Rawad, Ms. Maisa, Ms. Samah, you can see the passage. Maybe you have something with your internet connection, or you think that this is the passage you were waiting for the passage to be written in without mistakes, probably. It's intended, the mistakes are intended, okay? Yes, done, 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 Ms. Riham, okay. Do you still need time? You still need time to read it? Done, done, done. Okay, very good. Okay, so like you said, you see the passage in front of you, it has typing mistakes, but this is intended, okay? And I will read it for you together. According to a research at Cambridge University, it doesn't matter in what order the letters in a word are. The only important thing is that the first and last letter be at the right place. The rest can be a total mess and you can still read it without problem. This is because the human mind does not read every letter by itself, but the word as a whole. Did you get what we were just doing now? Okay, we were trying to test our minds, okay, to test our skills. I see that a lot of people just were able to read it. Okay, let's take it to the next step. Try to read this text, please. And just like we did with the rest, the previous one, try to read it. And when you're done, just type done, okay? Go ahead. Okay, I see some faces. Come on, Miss Basma. Try to read it, come on. I'm waiting. Okay. The first one, let me check who's going to be the first one who types done. Be the most, I will then know that this person must be definitely a good reader. It's a little bit difficult, Miss Maisa. Yes, I know. Miss Ansar, I know it's hard. It's hard. Okay, it's hard. I'm just trying to put you in the student's shoes. Okay, I'm trying to get this feeling, and then they're reading a text and they cannot actually understand what they're reading. Okay. Miss Busi, okay. Miss Wala done. Miss Amani done. So was the first one. Okay, I think that was Miss Wala. Yes, Miss Wala. Thank you very much. Okay. Okay, this one has numbers actually, it's not letters. However, as you see, some of our colleagues were able to read it, okay? They must be readers, and because they read a lot, their eyes have done a lot of practice. So they can actually read the words, even if they do not make sense, okay? This message serves to prove how our minds can do amazing things, impressive things. In the beginning, it was hard, but now on this line, your mind is reading it automatically without even thinking about it. Be proud, only creative people can read this. Please share it, okay? You can, of course, you can share it. Okay, so why did we do this exercise? Okay, I wanted you to feel, you just felt now how hard it is, how difficult it is, because you did not practice reading this kind of text, okay? It's the same thing for our students, all right? So let's just do this last exercise and then we move to what I'm aiming at. Can you find the words hidden in here? Okay, we have a couple of words hidden in here. Let me check who's going to get the first word. Words, very good, Miss Wala. Miss Wala again, she wins the crown. Okay, Miss Heba, okay, or. Okay, there are other words. It's not or actually, so just check for the rest of the letters and you'll find out what is the word. Words, very good, Mr. Muhammad. Miss Badria, words. Miss Dalia, novel, excellent. Mr. Eid, it's not or. Try to get the rest of the word. Page, sentences, story, yes, exactly. So these were the words that you can see here. Do you know what we were just doing here? What our eyes were doing? You're actually scanning, okay? You're just going through, I told you to look for words. So that's what actually you were doing. You were scanning and looking for words, okay? So this is actually another skill that we use with our eyes. By the way, all those skills that I'm talking to you about actually are just built in, okay? We all can do this. There's no one that we cannot do. We just need to practice, okay? So this leaves us here. Before we start reading or before we help our students to read a text in front of them, be it English, math, science, whatever, French, we need essential skills for reading comprehension. Like we said, the target is to comprehend, okay? So we need 6 essential skills that we need to have before we start reading, okay? We need to have them enhanced in our students. So can you guess what are those skills? Okay, can you type in the chat box? Just guess, we are here to work together. Can you guess what are the skills? Scanning, yes, okay. This is skill skimming. Okay, Mr. Muhammad, yes, thank you very much. Okay. Scan, Ms. Basma, Mr. Sharif skimming. Details, yes, okay, Ms. Nancy. Recognition, yes, very good, Ms. Maha. This is very good. Critical thinking. Okay, silence, skimming, Ms. Mai, yes. Okay. Do you know what we're just doing when we were just solving the one we were just decoding right now? This is the first thing that we're actually doing, decoding. Because actually reading, when you're reading, this is a text in front of you. And the first thing that your mind does is to decode the text that you have in front of you. So the first thing that your eyes read, the message sent to your brain, and you start to decode the words, okay? Decode the sentence to make an understanding of what you're reading, okay? Very good, I see communication, intensive reading between the lines. Yes, all those things that you said are very good, okay? But we're just trying to put them under titles, okay? So the first thing, as we said, is decoding, okay? What comes next is fluency, okay? Like you're saying critical reading, extensive reading, that all happens when we are fluent in reading. The more we read, the more we're fluent, just like when the more you speak, the more you're fluent in speaking, the more you listen, the more you are actually fluent in listening. You learn how to listen to people. Reading is just like any other exercise, just like any other activity. You need to practice to be fluent, okay? So the more you're fluent, the more it will be easier to read the text in front of you and to understand the meaning. Of course, this is very, very important, especially if you're talking about English teachers, French teachers, science teachers, by the way, because I see a lot of vocab when I teach to my little daughter that I actually have to get a dictionary to find out what does it mean. Okay, so this is very important, the vocab. So when I'm working with my students, I have to make sure that I have to work on enhancing those skills. And this makes it easier for me, actually. If I teach them that they have to be fluent, that they have to learn new vocab. And by the way, this is not things that we give our children like the routine curriculum at school. This is things that you have to encourage them to do. You can just ask them to try to find out a piece of newspaper today. Just get me any kind of news. Get me a story from home where there is a vocab that we don't know and just share it with the class. Okay, I mean, you have to be creative in your class. Don't just stick to the routine curriculum. This would only take like, I don't know, maybe 3-5 minutes if each one just get a new word or say an information or a piece of text that someone else in his class doesn't know, even for smaller grades, okay? So like we said, we have decoding, we have fluency, we have vocab. What do you think? What else could come? What do you think? Can you have any summarizing? Very good, Ms. Basma, that's very good. Okay, purpose of the body, exactly, that's very good. We have then the sentence cohesion, okay, and construction, and this has to do with the grammar, okay? And actually, it's also important to know that sometimes when you listen to a sentence, you don't know what's wrong about it, but you just know that there's something wrong, that this sentence doesn't make sense. Maybe you would not be able to identify or name the grammatical mistake, you know, just this is a grammatical mistake that is called so and so and so, or the subject should be here, but you would know that there's something wrong with this sentence. And this actually comes when you read a lot. When you read a lot, your mind can tell if the sentence construction is okay or not. Does it make sense? Is the sentence formed in a way I can understand it, or it's hard for me to understand it, okay? And of course, reasoning and background knowledge, because if I read a title that I already have a background knowledge about it, it would help me to understand the text in front of me much, much better, right? If you read any title, any subtitle, you would understand because you actually have a background knowledge about it, okay? Even if it's subconsciously there, you would find it. Yes, I see Mr. Aid extracting new vocab. Yes, very good. Stating topic and supporting sentence, cohesion, coherence. Ms. Basma, yes, all those are excellent. Okay. Ms. Basma gets the meaning through context. Yes, very good. Okay, what do you think? What else do we need? You're reading, what else do you need? Okay, something very important that we all, I think, having trouble with it. Okay. It's the memory, okay? We all have trouble with working our memories to remember. Do I remember the last sentence that I just read? Do I still have, can I actually remember the sentence I just read a minute ago? So we need to train our working memories and our attention, okay? And this is actually for our students as well. Do you have any ideas that you do to practice your memory? Do you do something even with your class to practice, to have them practice their memory and attention? I see rehearsal, recognition, conclusion. Ms. Asma, yes, very good. Analyze the comprehension, yes. We can also use some activities in class to have them work their memories and attention, just like the ones we were solving a few minutes ago. You can have more activities like that, okay, to just make sure that they work their memories. And also remember the activity we used to have, the one about to show the difference. Sometimes those actually also enhance the working memories and attention, okay? Okay, so we were talking about the skills that we need to have to enhance our reading and to help our students read in a better way and comprehend the reading text they have in front of them. What we were just talking about were the skills, okay? Okay, do you know the difference between skill and strategy? Can you tell me in the chat box? We're just talking about skills and now we're moving to strategy. Okay. Okay, yes, I see icebreaking activities, puzzles, yes, memory games, very good, thank you. Okay, like we said, we were talking about skills, yes, Miss Wala, steps, and we have methods, yes, strategy is the method that we are going to use. And we have the ways, yes. So actually we are going to put strategy, I have to have the skills before applying the strategies, okay? So I have to have the skills, the ones that we were talking about, they were just general skills. There are many skills that we will discuss later, but we have to have the skills, okay, enhanced in the students in order for them to be able to apply the strategies that they will have to use in the reading text in front of them, okay? Is it clear, the difference between the skill and the strategy? Ms. Dalia, skill something that can be obtained, but strategy is the plan. Exactly, yes, that's exactly. Thank you very much, Ms. Dalia. Okay, so since you're all teachers here, can you tell me when you're putting a strategy, even for yourself, just start by yourself, you're reading something. What are the main factors that control the strategy that you are going to use when you're going to read a specific text? Can you tell me what control the strategy you use? Please write in the chat box. Time, yes, very good, Ms. Basma, excellent. Yes, what else? Introduction, okay. The age, okay. Time management, yes. Time, plan, yes. Learning style, okay. What else? Conclusion, maybe the type of the passage itself, Ms. Dalia, yes, excellent, very good. The steps that help you to achieve the aim, yes, the aim of the lesson, very good. Okay, anyone has any other ideas? Individual differences, okay. But actually the text will not look at the individual differences. We're all going to be solved the text in front of us, but they have to develop the skill to be able to solve it. Okay, warm up, activities, type of reading to be interested, multiple intelligence. Yes, very good. You did very good brainstorming. Thank you very much. Okay, this is something I just define the reading strategies, or what control the strategy I'm going to use, or the one I'm going to be telling my students to use will be controlled by those 4 factors. I call them the 4 T's, okay? It's the first one is the text given, okay? The text that I have in front of me will control the strategy I'm going to use, or I have to put the strategy that I'm going to use based on the text I have in front of me, okay? The second thing is the skills that are being tested. Like you said before, we have skimming, we have scanning, we have other actually skills that we can test, like memory, for example, like sentence cohesion. Okay, so we have skills that are being tested. Not all texts test the same skills, okay? And like you said, time, which is very, very, very important. Time is crucial. We have to know how long time do we have, or how much time does our students have? Because if they're having this passage like in an exam, it's different when they're having it for homework, or they're having it at class to solve. Okay, and you have to give them specific time to solve, so they will be trained, that their mind is pressured. They have to be trained to answer the questions and to read at the time specified for them. Okay. The last thing is the type of questions, of course, because we're talking about comprehension and reading passages, okay? So the type of question also defines or controls the strategy I'm going to use, depending on the type of question I'm giving. If it's a multiple choice, if it's complete, if it's compare, depending on the type of the question I'm asked, the strategy I will have when I'm reading the text would be different, okay? All right, okay. Is everyone following up with me? Okay, need anything that I need to explain or anything?
Mrs. رانيا بس يعني
Yes.
استاذنك بس لو يعني نهدي شويه عشان معانا ناس مش انجلش بس.
Okay.
يعني لو
حاضر يا مستر حسين.
ربنا يخليك.
اوكي حاضر. احنا معانا دلوقتي general reading text, okay. I need to ask you all that, since Mr. Hussein said كمان عشان احنا مش معانا كله English teacher. what do you usually do يعني حتى even لو science teacher or math teacher or French teacher, what do you do? What do you tell your students when you have a text in front of you that you want them to read? Can you tell me what's the first thing you ask them to do? يعني احنا دلوقتي now you're in class, you have students, you have a text. What do you say? What do you tell them? Read, go ahead, read and answer, read and summarize what? Okay, skim, read loudly, okay. Read loudly is this, okay. So Miss Wala, you ask them to read loudly. Miss Maisa, look and read. Miss Dahlia, to read the question, then skim it. Silent reading, read the first letter. Before reading, discussion. Yes, thank you very much, Miss Jihan. Hannah, read and answer. Introduce the new words. Yes, Miss Asma. Write a general question and answer. Write down notes. Read questions. Read silently. Okay. Those were very good answers. And that leads us to the main thing that I want to all of us actually to focus on. Okay. Most of us, or even when we are taught at school, when we are all younger, we just given the text and we were asked to read the text and then solve the question that we have on the text. Okay, probably even no discussion, just read the text and answer. Okay, even if you have مثلا, let's say we have a science text, the teacher would tell us read the text and tell me the definition and tell me what does this mean, and probably most of what the teacher uses is repetition. Just keep repeating. You read, the next student read, the one after you complete, and the next, and that's it. Repetition of the text. And then they start just answering the question, okay? Well, that's not how children would love reading, actually. I have seen little children who actually love, reading is something that they can love when they are young. But by the time they go to school and they attend classes at school, they start to somehow hate reading. Because reading then is it's connected to the academic learning. And because academic learning and academic reading is boring and it's introduced in a boring way and not in a creative way, they start to dislike reading and everything that comes with it. So when we are dealing with our students, we want them to love reading, okay? We want them to see reading, like we said, as an activity, as something that they will learn and something that will help them think, okay? So like, as you see, as the quote says, too often we give children answers to remember rather than problems to solve, okay? We don't want them to have answers. We don't want to give children answers, okay? I don't want our students or even my children or your children to just remember the answer, okay? We want them to have a problem and then try to solve it, okay? Because if they know how to solve a problem, they are training their skills. They're not just memorizing a certain specific way of solving a question or a vocab that they will just memorize without using it with its different meanings or in a context, okay? So no, we want them to think, okay? Because when they think, it would be much, much better for them and for us as teachers, okay? You make to think and they think to make. This is very important. So when the next time, or whether you're applying this or not, but if you have your children or your students at class, have them love what they are going to read. Introduce reading to them in a different way. Don't just say, go ahead and read. No, ask questions before, like some of you said, okay, discuss, just even maybe look at the picture and try to guess what this is about. Just go through it and try to think if there's some kind of vocab that's new that you do not know. And there are other tips that we're going to discuss, okay, that will help our students when they start to read a certain text to look at it in a different way, to start to love what they are going to read. And when you love something, it's much easier for you to understand it, okay? Okay, so do you have any tips? Like you said, you're the ones before that you were teaching your students, you just said some tips like skimming and scanning and okay, what else do you do, especially for the smaller grades? I see, like you said at the beginning, a lot of you teach primary stages. what do you tell your, I think you would have probably stories or short novels. What do you tell them? Okay, let's see, Miss Salma, some questions pre-reading. Yes, give time to read. Miss Amira, make questions before reading comprehension and tell them that they will answer about questions after reading. Okay, very good. Give pictures. Yes, very good. Rereading question, Ms. Raud, excellent. Yes, very good. Okay, so I'll just share with you some tips for general reading, and you can actually have more and add, and I'll be pleased to have you add more tips. Okay, we have predicting. Okay, ask them to predict, what is this story about? What do you think this text is about? If there is a picture or even the title, just read the title and try to predict what is the story about or the text about. Okay, visualizing, like we said, if there is a photo or there's a picture, try to visualize and try to imagine and try to guess what the reading text will be. Okay, questioning, like most of you said. Okay, have pre-questions before the text. All right, that's very good. Okay, making inferences. Okay, try to make an inference, try to guess. It's similar to predicting, but after you've read part of the passage. Okay. Okay, what else? Using prior knowledge. Then, for example, if you're reading a story about cats, maybe for smaller grades, and maybe some of them have cats at home. Okay, so probably they have prior knowledge about cats, what do they love, what do they eat, so on. So you can start to ask questions if some of the students at your class have prior knowledge to the text that you are going to talk about. This would help to, of course, create vocab and help them understand the text they are going to read and actually love what they are going to read, because they're just not going to read it as something that they are forced to do, but there's something that they're having fun doing it. Okay. What else? Like Ms. Salma said, identifying the main idea and summarization. That's very, very important. Okay. We'll be having text together to see how we're going to test our skills and how we're going to use the strategies. I don't know if, do you need a break or something, or shall we, Mr. Hussein? So I move on?
I guess we can move on.
So we're going to go back practically, okay. Ms. Basma will send you the text in front of you at the WhatsApp group, and it will also be uploaded on the Google Classroom, as you have received today the Google Classroom videos to show you how to upload the data. Okay, so how you'll find the passage now in your WhatsApp. I'll give you a minute to check it all, make sure that you've received it. Yes, Miss Amira, yes, we will discuss this later.
The passage
Yes.
is also uploaded to Google Classroom.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Dr. Reb. And it's also uploaded in Google Classroom. So if you would like to check it from the WhatsApp or Google Classroom, you will have it there. Okay. Did you, everyone, I'm just checking the WhatsApp now. Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Basma. Ms. Basma has sent it on the WhatsApp. You will have it in front of you. You will have it on the WhatsApp, and you will have it at Google Classroom. Maybe later on, we can have it on site. Okay. So check the chat box to make sure. Okay. Let's go. Sorry. Now we have a passage in front of us. I want you to remember the things we were just talking about, what we have to do before reading, during reading, after reading, the skills that we have to use, the tips that we were just discussing now. Okay, you're the students now, you're not the teachers, okay? So this is the passage in front of you. We have questions on this passage, okay? We will discuss this passage together, and then we will have another one that you will do with binary breakout room, okay? So I just want to make sure that you've all, can you just please type in the chat box that you've all, you have the the passage in front of you? Miss Hannah, it's a task in session now. This is something we're doing right now. Okay, yes. Okay, very good. Okay, I don't see, where's the rest? Okay, I see Miss Maisa, Miss Heba. Okay, so I think you have it now. Okay, I just want to start discussing the passage. I just want to make sure that you all have it in front of you so we can share together, okay? So as you see, this is a passage in front of you, okay? Can you tell me, now we have a passage in US students, I will tell you that you have a passage, right? What's the first thing that your eyes read? Can you tell me in the chat box? Cornwall, okay, so this is the title, okay? And you have subtitles and you have words in bold letter, okay? And you have questions that will follow, okay? Some, of course, read the questions first and then read the passage. Other read the passage and then read the question. This depends on the type of the question. But I just want you to see what we're aiming at when we're looking at this text, okay? This text, we have here subtitles, we have title. So actually, if someone has been to Cornwall before, they would have prior knowledge to what we're talking about. Or if someone has read about it or has been to UK before or London, probably would have an idea, okay, prior knowledge, okay? Can you tell me if when you just had this first look at the passage, okay, you just realize that it is talking about a place, okay, subtitles, yes, very good, Ms. Busi, Mr. Sharif, Mr. Mahmoud, yes, the subtitles. So this is a passage that have a heading, it had a subtitle. So if I'm looking at a specific information in the question, the subtitles would make it easier for me, okay? So what I would be using as a skill here, I would be using the skimming because I'd be skimming through the subtitles, the headings to know what would follow under those titles or subtitles, okay? We have actually another page if you have the, okay, as you see, the whole text is like titles and subtitles and you have the heading, okay? And then you have the questions, okay? So we have seen the text, okay? We've seen how the text look like. We said before we have the 40s, so we have seen the text. You have the time, okay? And you should answer each question in about 1 minute or less, okay? So the time is crucial and controls the strategy I'm going to use, all right? And the type of question, as you have here, it's not a multiple question. It's a question that you are asked to use not more than 2 words to complete the sentence. And the words that are going to use are in the passage already, okay? So either you read the questions first or you read the passage first. But I would suggest that since this is, you have already subtitles and headings, so it would be easier to start reading the question first and then look at the subtitle, okay? Where do you think this would be under which subtitle, okay? And then you can reread the passage again. So let's just try to, if you're all having the sheet in front of you, I'll give you like 5 minutes, okay? We're not going to break out rooms now, just doing this together. Let's see if anyone needs to ask about anything, and I'll be talking about more tips, okay? To show you how we're going to do it. So just please go through the text, start reading it with your eyes and try to solve the questions, okay? And let's go, just when you're finished reading, just tell me that you're done. And then we can go, for those who are starting with reading the paragraphs, okay? So you will have like, let me check the, okay, you'll have like, I'll give you, I think you already started reading. Okay, 5 minutes to read, okay? 5 minutes from now, okay? And I'll tell you when the minutes are done, and then we'll start reading the questions. Where we can find the answer, okay? I'll be doing it with you, okay? But first I want you just to read the passage. Okay. Is my okay? So 4 paragraphs. No, we have it's 2 pages. If someone would like to take like a screenshot with the WhatsApp, this is the first page. okay? And this is the second one. If you don't have your laptops with you, or if it's harder for you to download the Word file, better to read it from a file because it would be very difficult to read it from your mobile. So the Word file would be easier. Okay. When you're reading, okay, and you should be reading now, try to underline any vocab that you do not understand, or any information that you would like to know more about, okay? The vocab is very important. All right. Okay. 1 minute already gone. 4 minutes to go. I have been to London, by the way, but I do not understand the passage. I have not been to Cornwall. I could hardly read the words at the end, so it's okay. Even I have been there, but I don't have prior knowledge about this specific place. So it's okay. Even for those with prior knowledge, it's still, I still find it. But the answers are there. So we have 3 minutes to go. Okay. All right. Okay. Ms. Dalia finished reading. Very good, Ms. Dalia. Thank you very much. Did you enjoy the passage? Okay. Anyone else finished? Okay. 2 minutes. Hopefully our science teacher and our French teacher finds it easy to read. I have here the lizard, but it's not the animal, it's the place, just for the science teacher. I read it twice, Ms. Wala, very good. I think you must be our top 1 reader today. Finished all the questions. Probably the first one. Okay, so we have 1 more minute to go. Okay, hope you all finished reading when we're done. Okay, a few seconds, okay. We're about to finish. Okay, Ms. Shaimaa, done, okay. Finished reading, Ms. Salma, okay. So just have a few seconds. Okay. Finish reading, okay. So someone still finding it hard to read? We're going to talk now about the question so you can relate to what we were just talking about. Even if you can still go ahead and done, Miss Nancy. Okay, so let's move now. Like we said, the passage in front of us, we have used our skimming skills to read through the title, to read through the headlines and so on, subtitles. I hope you've all underlined any vocab that's new to you, okay? Or any information that you want to know about or anything that you can relate to, okay? Now let's go and see the question, okay? All right. The questions we have in front of us, as you see, the type of the question is that we're going to choose no more than 2 words from the passage and choose the words that would make the sentence correct and complete the meaning. Okay, so we can comprehend the sentence. Okay, so let's go through the first one. And let's see who's going to write the answer. And if you got the answer correctly, I ask you to tell me what did you apply to get the answer, okay? So we have the first one. Cornwall has stunning coastal views, including the most, okay, what? Point in Great Britain, okay? Okay, I see Mr. Muhammad drew it far west, okay. Far west, you got it from the text. Okay, someone else have another answer? Okay, westerly, Miss Mai, Miss Wala, westerly, westerly, westerly. Okay, actually, this is exactly the same answer that came to my mind first. But then I will tell you, now we're in question number 1, right? And like we said, the first sentence is talking about Cornwall, right? And we have the first title, we have Cornwall, okay? And we have where is Cornwall, and it describes this first question. The answer is at this part, okay? And our colleagues who have just used westerly, because they have read the sentence, if you all go through with me, the second line, it's also the location of mainland Great Britain's most southerly promontory, the Lizard, and one of the UK's westerly points, Land's End, okay? When I read the question, like most of you did, I wrote westerly. Mr. Muhammad, it's no more than 2 words, okay? You can write 1 word or 2 words, but no more, okay? Yes, Miss Dahlia, very good. Southerly promontory. When I first read the passage, I did like what most of you did, and I wrote westerly points. I found the word points, so I put it's westerly, and that's what most of our students do. Just go on and see where is the word points in the passage. Okay, there it is, then westerly is the correct answer. And actually, it's not, because we have the word promontory, okay? Promontory. This is a new vocab. It's a new vocab for me as well, by the way. So promontory, this means it's like the edge, okay? The top of something. And it was the question was talking about point, like Ms. Dahlia said. So it's actually southerly, not westerly, okay? Because if you did not have this vocab, promontory, the correct answer, yes, it would be westerly. But we have this vocab, which means the top or the edge. And this is actually what the question was talking about, okay? The most, the question says, as we are back to the question, it says the most, okay? So it means it's the edge, the highest. So it's actually the southerly point, not the westerly point, okay? And this is one of the common mistakes that we all do. We just look for the word, where it's located, and okay, this is attached to this word, and this is the correct answer, okay? All right, so promontory, okay, I see Ms. Maisa asking, okay, promontory, okay, it means a point of high land, or also like an edge, okay, or the peak. If you're talking like a mountain, it's the peak, okay, and or the headland, or the head, okay, this is all synonyms for the word promontory, peak, edge, yes, exactly, okay, and antonyms, because this is what actually we should be teaching our students, okay? This is a new vocab. So what's the opposite do you think I can use for promontory? If it's the edge, if it's the headland, okay? The lowland, bottom, okay? Crater maybe, decline, valley, okay? So this is what we should be teaching our students, not just the meaning even of the word, but what's the opposite of the word, okay? To widen their vocab and the usage of the vocabulary, all right? Okay, let's go to question number 2, okay? Apart from the coastal views, the amazing landscapes have inspired an unexpected but thriving, okay? What have you answered? What was your answer? Okay, for the second question. Yes, Ms. Mai, yes, the opposite, low decline bottom. Yes, we have moved to the second question. Okay, what do you think the word that we can use for this question? We're talking about coastal views, amazing landscapes, have inspired an unexpected but thriving. Thriving what? Miss Amani says water sports. Okay, any other answers? Okay. And actually you have to, just let me get back to the text, okay. Where is the part that is talking about the coastline, okay? It's the third one, which is what's so special about it. We have the word dramatic coastline, right? So she used water sports. She said the variety of water sports. Okay. Yes, Miss Basma, excellent. Art scene, exactly. Miss Amen, you said water sports, which is actually, yes, it is in the passage, okay? It is in the same part that is talking about the coastline, okay? But again, the question is asking about what is the unexpected but thriving. Thriving what, okay? It's not actually to complete the sentence from the same part. It has to do with the word that can be, would complete the sentence, okay, would make sense to the sentence, okay? For art scene, yes, very good. Art scene, Ms. Dalia, Ms. May, yes, excellent. Art scene is the correct answer, okay? And as you see, art scene is not actually where the word coastline was mentioned. It's actually, as you see, what's so special about it, you have, this is the part where you have the dramatic coastline, and then expect the unexpected. In the second line, you have, there is also the dynamic art scene, okay? So dynamic is actually some kind of, it's like thriving, okay? Dynamic, it's something dynamic, it's moving, okay? So it's thriving, okay? So it's a thriving is like a dynamic what? It's art scene. Miss Salma, Miss May, yes, thank you very much, okay? It's okay for those of you who actually chose other words, okay? It's just about how to understand the question, okay? And this is actually what we are doing now. Okay, now let's see the question number 3. Cornwall can now be compared to for its food and amazing chefs. I think this is a very easy question, okay? Because I think it's already in the passage. London, yes. So as you see, there's a variety of the question, okay? We don't have all questions depending on comprehending the meaning. Some questions just be direct, but others I'll have to comprehend. So this is a very important tip that you give to the students, okay? Don't just go looking for where the part of the question is and try to find where this word was found in the passage and just like copy and paste the word that was next to it, thinking this is the correct answer, okay? No, you have to understand the passage. You have to understand the type of the question and what the question wants you to answer. Yes, London. Yes, thank you very much. Okay. Let's go to the question that follows. One thing that makes Cornwall different from the rest of England is its what heritage? Miss Amani. The first answer here comes Celtic heritage. Yes, very good. Okay. Does everyone know what does Celtic means? You know what Celtic means? Because this is actually could be a word that I would underline. Okay, Celtic. Okay. Celtic, this comes from the Indo-European language. It's an old European family of language. So when we're talking about the Celtic, this is actually old European, okay? It's like history ago or European history, okay? Ancient Europe people. And this is actually from where the English language and I think the German and the Dutch and most of the languages came, the Indo-European languages. So this is actually ancient Europe people. Like we have pharaohs in Egypt, they have the Celtic, okay? So this is the history, their heritage, okay? Heritage, this means it's like their history, okay? So this is, like you said, another word we would understand. I hope you have underlined any vocab that you found it hard to understand, okay? Okay, so old language, Irish and Scots, yes, Mr. Muhammad, yes, ancient tribe, thank you very much. A tribe called Celt, yes, Ms. Rodwa, thank you very much. It's tremendous history, yes, and they have very, very nice old buildings and churches and so on. Okay, so this question, okay. The perfect place to discover insights into lifestyles from a bygone era, okay, is, okay. So now we're talking about insights, lifestyle, and we're talking about an ancient time. So where do you think we can find this specific part? Where? Towering Castle, Miss Dahlia, yes, okay. It's okay. Other answers? Okay. Okay, we're talking about here an area. There is an area in the passage where they said they have ancient, okay? Let's see, we have to check the vocab in the text. Look at the second page, please. You will have the Landrock Bodmin, okay? And you see it says boasts a magnificent late Victorian country house with gardens and wooded estate, okay? And the question was talking about a bygone era. Okay, yes, Ms. Basma, Landrock, exactly. Bygone era means it's a time, era is a time that is gone, long time ago. So the Victorian, as we all know, this was ancient time in England, okay? So this is a place, yes, Mr. Muhammad, Ms. Mai, Ms. Basma, yes, very good. So this we'd understand the word Victorian, so we can relate that this is an old era, bygone era. Again, this is a question where we comprehend the meaning of the word to relate what is the correct word or the suitable word that we're going to use. And by the way, Miss Dahlia Towering Castle, I would not say it's a wrong answer. It is actually, yes, but we're talking about an era, okay? So the whole place, the whole area. Okay, now let's move to the question, the last one. The perfect place to discover insights into Cornwall's industrial past. Okay, if you've gone through the text, you've read a part that was even from the title. Okay, we're talking about industrial. Yes, Mr. Sharif, Ms. Basma, Ms. Amani, thank you very much. Give or 10 mine. Okay, thank you, Mr. Sharif. And when you write the answer, we said no more than 2 words. So you can just say 10 mine. Okay, don't make it 3 words. Just stick to 2 words. Okay. Okay, Mr. Muhammad, Mr. Sharif, yes, very well, very good. And what was the tip here? We have here Givort and mine, and we have industrial, okay? Nothing else in the passage, no subtitle. The passage is talking about anything industrial except this part, okay? So you can just get the answer even if you don't, if you're running out of time, you can just go through this passage, just write the subtitle, okay? That's why reading the subtitle is very important. Okay, so this was the passage that we were doing together, as you have seen. Can you just tell me what was your first impression? Did you find it hard, easy, time to think? You need time? Did you need time? Okay, I'm waiting for your answers. Did you need time? Yes, Ms. Maisa, yes, Mr. Matt. Yes, yes, need to think. Yes, like we said, thinking and time is crucial, and this is actually what our students face. Okay, the same exact thing. Okay, the time is crucial, and they have to think, they have to relate the information. Yes, need reading between lines and synonyms. Yes, exactly. Read more than 1 time. Yes, you can reread the passage actually. A bit hard, need time and thinking. Yes, yes, Miss Nancy. So like you said, needs time, you need to comprehend. So that's what reading is all about, actually. The more you practice, the more you read, the more you'll find it easier. Like we said, you're training your eyes. Now you see, we had this passage together, right? I think the next time you'll have a passage where you have subtitles and headings, you just go through the subtitles and try to guess what it's about. You'd probably be skimming. Of course, this is just once, but I mean that the more you train your eyes, the more you train your mind to think, to comprehend, to relate, the more you'll find it easier for you, okay? And it would also be easier for your students. Okay, so like we said at the start of our session, we said that we had before reading, during reading, after reading, okay? What do you think the questions were when you were just reading the passage before reading? What do you think were the questions going through your minds before you read the passage, or before going through the passage, you just saw the title? Please tell me in the chat box. Okay. You were not thinking anything? Okay. Where is Cornwall, Miss Maisa? Yes. What do you know about? Yes, very good. Excellent, Mr. Sharif. Yes. Who else? Still waiting. Okay. All right. What do you know? Anyone else would like to add to Miss Maisa and Mr. Sharif? Okay, like they said. Okay, what does the title tell me? This is the first thing. Okay, what does the title tell me? And this is exactly the first thing that we ask our students. What does the title tell you? Okay, what does the title tell you this text is going to be about before reading? Okay, what else? I see Ms. Salma making sentences. Ms. Badre, have you ever been to? Yes. Descriptive essay, Mr. Muhammad, about a place. Yes, very good. Okay, what do I think this will be about? Okay, so this is a title. Okay, it's probably talking about Cornwall, which is a city. Okay, is it describing Cornwall or the people there or someone talking about it in the narrative voice or what? Okay, now what about during reading? Now I have started reading, you have started reading the passage. What were the questions running in your mind while you were reading? Okay, Mr. Islam, what the passage is about, what vocab I know and I don't know, what I can elicit from the title and stuff. Excellent, actually you probably got it all. Okay. During reading, like Mr. Islam was just telling us, what have I learned so far? I'm reading the text and my mind is telling me, what have I learned? Do I need to reread what I just read to comprehend it, or I have understood it from the first time? Okay, do I need to reread? This is actually a question going through our minds all the time. Did I really understand what I'm reading? Okay, after reading, what do you ask yourself now? Now we have finished reading, okay? And we have answered the questions. Okay, Miss Maisa, what did you understand from the passage? Yes, Mr. Islam, what was the main idea? Excellent, very good. Mr. Muhammad, synonyms and antonyms. Yes, thank you very much. Ms. Rawat, analyzing the passage. Ms. Basma, did I get? Yes, exactly. And those are very important questions. And after reading is a very, very important stage when we are teaching our students, because actually this is the stage where they are taking all what they have learned and trying to move with what they have learned to apply it probably even in their lives, not just in the next text they read, okay? So after reading, what new words did I learn? Okay, like I told you, underline any vocab. Like we said, we have the word Celtic, we have the word promontory, probably maybe era, heritage, for those who don't know the vocab, okay? So we have to underline the new vocab. Do I agree or disagree? Yes, probably I could do this depending on the type of the text. What is the main idea, Ms. Hera? Yes. Ms. Badri, give me a summary. Yes. So what new words did I learn? What was the main idea, like most of you said, okay? What else do I want to know? Do I want to know more about this vocab? Do I want to know more about this information I'm reading about? Do I want to share it with my parents or my friends that I took today an interesting text that was about so and so and so? Okay, so can even apply to my real life. Okay, now you will be solving one on your own. You'll be going to breakout rooms, try to apply all that we have been discussing to the next passage. Okay, you will also have it. It's also in the file that Ms. Basma has sent you. It's also on the Google Classroom. Okay, and you will read the text. Okay, you will have 5 minutes to answer the questions. Okay, and you will have, other than the questions, I'll give you another 5 minutes. So actually the total time you're having is 10 minutes, okay? Because I want you, when you finish the question, to answer these two questions, okay? What is different? Is this passage that you're going to read now different from the passage that we read together, okay? And did you apply different strategy? Did you use any different strategy, any different skills? So you'll be in groups, okay? I want you to discuss together and assign just one person, okay, to either write in the chat box or open the mic and tell us whether the text was different from the one before or not, and if you have applied a different strategy to be able to solve this text, okay? And of course, if different, in what way? It's different in the text before, how different, okay? So can you please tell me in the chat box what you're going to do now? We're going to the breakout rooms, okay, divided in groups. What are you going to do? Okay. What did you understand this topic and how can you apply this? Yes, okay, Ms. Hala, okay. So what are we going to do? We're going to read the passage, yes or no? Please type in the chat box. We're going to read the passage, yes or no? You're tired, guys? You don't want to read anymore? Yes, Ms. Dalia, apply strategy. Okay, yes, you're going to read the passage. Are you going to answer any questions? Yes, you're going to answer questions, okay? All right, yes, Mr. Sharif, thank you very much. And after you answer, you'll tell me how different, is it different from the text we took? And if different, how? And what else? What is the second one? Okay, if different, how? And what is the second question that I want you to discuss together? Come on, anyone? Mr. Sharif said, is the text different from the previous one? Yes, and how different? Okay, what's the other one? The strategy. I want you to tell me the strategy that you are, yes, Miss Intisor, thank you very much. The strategy that you have used to answer the questions, okay? Okay, just excuse me for just a second. I need to charge just a second.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello everyone. Okay, I'm just talking to them. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'll just charge the
yes.
Just a second.
Hello everyone. We hope that you're enjoying the session. When Mrs. Rania is dividing you into rooms, when Mrs. Rania divides you into rooms, I'm going to visit each room for the sake of recording. So whenever I'm in, that means you're on spot and we're recording what you're doing. So no need to be worried. Just feel free and speak your mind. And we just would like to see how you're dealing with the stuff you have in your hands. Thank you so much. And I wish you the best of luck. Keep being amazing. Thank you so much.
Are you listening to me? Yes. Can you hear me now? Yes, I'm sorry. I was having a trouble with the network, so I moved the charger somewhere else. And
can hear you clearly.
Sorry. I moved before I start because the other area was having trouble with the connection, so I forgot to bring the charger with me. So I'm sorry, accept my apologies. Okay, Mr. Hussein, I didn't get actually what you said because I want to get the charger. So is there something I need to know?
I just told them that I'm going to visit each room for the sake of recording.
Okay.
Thank you.
So just to recap again what we said, we're going to break out rooms. You will have a text. You will have questions. You're asked to read the text, answer the questions, and then discuss together the two questions I asked. If the text was different from the other one, how different, and what strategies did you apply to answer the questions? And please, again, underline any vocab that you find that you do not understand, any sentence that you cannot relate, and anything that you want to know more about. Okay, thank you. Now we'll start. Okay. Okay, how many are we here? 54. Just a second. Okay. Okay. Okay, we'll go now to the rooms, okay? And remember how much time we have? We have 10 minutes, okay?
Guys, you have been sent an invitation, so please accept it and join your room and start doing your task. Thank you so much.
Yes, please